Hi guys, what's up? My name is D-AverageGamer and today we're going to be continuing on with our Witcher 3 Blood and Wine playthrough.
Move it!
So yeah, I think this is part 6. And yeah, we're going to be continuing on with the main story. So I am on my way right now to meet Regis. So yeah, sorry about the quick cut,
Some other
guys.
place to meet.
I basically just decided to cut out most of the travel time. Wait. Okay, let me kill this ghoul first. Okay, so now I have to find a way inside this tomb or hut or whatever it is.
Damn it. Locked. No way I got the place wrong.
It's in the middle of a
This is
graveyard,
it.
so
Gotta be another way in around here.
I mean that's pretty stereotypical, even for Regis. I get he's a vampire, but hanging out in graveyards, really? In we go. Oh shit. Die. Nice. So like, I gotta say the giant bugs in this game like really creep me out. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of insects. Come on, he's almost dead. Nice. Okay, so I'm gonna switch up my bombs here. Okay, strangely enough that didn't work. I'm just trying to like destroy these eggs right now. There we go. Nice. Oh shit. Alright, you a big one. Let me put on Gwen. Definitely gonna need some insectoid oil to deal with this guy. Where is it? Here it is. Get wrecked. I'm just trying to be like really careful, trying my best not to take any damage. Okay, a few more hits and he should be dead. There we go. One more. Oh, damn. Nice. Okay, let's keep going. should be pretty close. Somewhere here at least.
Agreed to meet a vampire at a cemetery. How much more cliche can you get?
Like, even Geralt is calling him out on
Nothing
it.
comes readily to mind.
Could have left the door unlatched.
What of my privacy? I value it rather deeply. Unmolested, especially by unwanted guests, that's my preferred state. Besides,
Dude, I love his
you
accent.
can find a way to get in.
True enough. Need to find your friend. I'm hoping you'll agree to help.
I shall do whatever's in my power. Yet what you want or even need must matter little. What matters is what Dettlaff wants. If he does not wish to be found, you will not find him. Ever. End of story.
Come on. Gotta be some way.
Vampires can evade detection by the senses, and no divination magic works on us. Even the most precise megascope would be useless.
And this? Could this help?
Wherever did you get that?
Off one of the beast's victims, found by a bend in the river. Body was chopped in pieces. 3 of those pieces were hands. Hand with the ring seemed the odd one out. Abruxa had taken an interest in it.
So,
It's Dettlaff's hand, without a doubt. It will do
Okay, good.
splendidly.
Can't you just summon Dettlaff? You're both higher vampires, there's gotta be a way.
If I'm to be entirely candid, there is indeed one. But believe me, we will be better off never availing ourselves of it. It is a last resort. Absolutely.
Last resort? The hell? Why?
There is a being who can summon Dettlaff. Possesses the authority, even the power, to force him to appear in a given place. But the very act of contacting this being, well, it's akin to walking a slack line extended over a chasm filled with molten lava. An exercise as perilous to me as it would be to you. A risk
Damn,
I'm
dude.
unwilling to take. I beg you, let's do it my way. It will be
Like,
quicker and easier.
I mean, he's immortal, so if he's like worried about
Rings
this,
pretty
it's
intriguing.
definitely not a good
No
idea.
metal I've ever seen. And the ornamentation.
It comes from our home, where we lived before the conjunction of spheres. It's actually mine. I received it from a dear old friend. You might call him a humanist. He saw us vampires as guests here, guests who owe their hosts, meaning you humans and the elder races, respect.
Respect? Meaning not to treat us like cattle to be slaughtered for food?
Precisely. And the reason why I in turn gave it to Dettlaff. To remind him of the ideals my old friend championed.
I wonder if he's like talking about the dragon that he met in the
And
books.
what do you plan to do with it?
You've heard of Kovinaris' theory of tissue memory retention.
Rings a distant bell. Read about it in Alchemia Oblitera. There's a copy of Kaer Morhen, tattered, nearly disintegrated. But if memory serves, Kovinaris never managed to prove it worked.
He did prove it, just never managed to publish his findings. He and I corresponded, you see, after we became friends. Thus, I know he completed his research and performed the first tests. It's complicated, so without delving into details, it is possible to use any piece of tissue to reconstruct what a whole body experienced.
How's it work? We need any special equipment?
We must brew a decoction which Kovinaris gave a rather poetic name, resonance. Once imbibed, it sends one into a trance similar to that induced by narcotics. This triggers visions of events linked to strong emotions experienced by the tissue's owner. Picture it as dreaming a fragment of someone's life.
Any chance we might see what Dettlaff was doing just before he lost his hand?
Indeed. Though I also hope resonance will reveal the location of Dettlaff's hideout.
Okay. Sounds like a good idea.
Kovinaris spent half his life proving his theory. Wild guess. Making a dose of resonance won't be easy.
You guessed correctly. In addition to Detlef's tissue, we shall need a powerful occipital lobe stimulant. Effectively a poison, to make one susceptible to visions.
Well, got
Okay,
a few
from?
ingredients to choose from. Unfortunately, all are pretty rare. There's mamoon glands. The closest ones I know of are in Vizima. A spotted white saliva would also serve, but they were cold to extinction over a century ago. Could go with a kobold's eyes, but the creatures are sentient. Rather not gouge one's eyes out.
Yeah,
Given that we lack the
that'd be
time to
pretty
see if this
messed
area
up.
seems permit me to summon some help.
Oh, what the? Like the fingers is still twitching. Oh, that. Wow. I'm like halfway expecting that hand to like get up and start moving around.
What was that?
A raven? Rather a common sight at this latitude. Very intelligent fowl. I asked him to look for the creatures you mentioned. Him and his brethren. Perhaps they'll find one in the area, and I would hazard that a flock of ravens will spy any said creature faster than a solitary witcher would. With all due respect to your skills, my friend. It will take them some time, nonetheless. So, perhaps you'd care for a snifter of mandrake.
Sure, why not? Let's have a
Rarely say
drink.
no
We
to
can
a
catch up.
snifter.
Sadly, this is but a weak infusion rather than a proper distillate.
Even better. I remember your mandrake hooch. Made people say things they'd have rather kept to themselves.
Now, what could Geralt of Rivia prefer to keep to himself?
A lot, I assume. Cool, so we're gonna get to have a conversation with Regis. I'm gonna try to follow up on all the dialogue here, guys.
So, think you've set a nice little trap for me? Sorry. Wanna get me to confess? Gonna have to try harder.
I love a challenge. In that case, my ears are cocked. What must I do?
How about you get the ball rolling? Reveal one of your secrets. Vampires, intriguing creatures, must lead fascinating lives.
Anything in particular interest you?
Let's start from the bottom, work our way up.
Always fascinated me the way vampires can regenerate. A hand growing back is one thing, but Detlef recreating you out of a wet smear? Something else entirely.
A
Yeah, dude,
difficult
that is
and laborious
pretty
process,
insane.
but one that's possible. As my presence proves. But I've heard you too had quite the adventure. They say you lost your memory.
For a bit, but Triss helped me get it back. Actually, pretty damn lucky I only had amnesia.
Yes, you humans are rather buggered in those terms. To strip you of life is, well, it's just plain easy. I've always pitied you in that regard.
Wow, like how he
We
put that.
vampires are much harder nuts to crack. If a member of another race kills one of us, we can be reborn with a living higher vampire's help. However, if one of our own strikes the deadly blow, death is permanent. There can be no rebirth. One of the chief reasons why vampires long ago swore never to fight one another.
So there you go, guys, an explanation on like
Got a new life, new body.
how vampires and their
Give me a new
immortality
start,
and stuff.
Blank slate.
Starting all anew is a very broad concept. What exactly do you mean?
Your blood addiction, say. Wondering if your body's the same, if it still remembers. Maybe if you drank now, you wouldn't get hooked.
All addictions are a form of slavery. Re-addiction's not a risk I'm willing to take, just to test a hypothesis about corporeal regeneration and whether propensities carry over.
Fair enough. Curiosity, that's all. Sorry.
Not to worry, Geralt. Curiosity is a natural reaction under the circumstances, apart from which I've always valued that trait in you.
Yeah, so some backstory. Regis was basically the human equivalent to
Gotta ask you the
an
big
alcoholic
One
at
everyone
one point in
wonders
time.
about. What happens after death?
You wish me to tell you if the human belief in the gods is well founded? Well, that I do not know. We vampires differ exceedingly from you humans. Our matter, that of which we are composed, can exist without form. We require neither a heart, nor a brain, nor air to breathe.
But were you dead?
As humans understand death, yes.
Feel anything? Understand anything?
It's rather hard to explain. I felt something very unsettling. Something I cannot even name, for I did no reasoning. Only after rebirth did I begin to understand that what I had felt was cold and unimaginable fear. If not for Dettlaff, I might have drowned in an eternity of icy terror.
Damn, dude. I mean,
Can't have
coming
been
from
alive
like
then.
a vampire,
Sheesh,
an
experience
immortal
like that must
creature
be
that
vicious.
basically like inspires fear.
Indeed, it's
Like
hard to
that
compare to
statement
anything I
alone
know.
is pretty creepy.
Yet you are aware we don't see death as you do. The way you cling to life, we find it entirely peculiar. You are mortals, ergo it's a foregone conclusion. You will die. It's but a question of time. Thus, I often find myself wondering why you try so very hard. To die at 20 years, 40, even 100, what's the difference? They're all but the blink of an eye.
Depends on
To
your point of
you.
view. Man who's got a
Exactly.
million crowns to spend can't possibly understand one who's only got 20.
Very true. One's outlook can indeed change much.
Curious what you did after you were reborn.
As I'm sure you can surmise, at first I was thoroughly absorbed with recovering. As it is, I've still not recovered completely. Yet I was so weak the first year that I could not stand nor move on my own. Dettlaff bore my weakness bravely, showed great patience. If not for him, I wouldn't be here, and I'd have regenerated far slower. Once I could at last stand unassisted, I set off for Bruges, for my one-time home of Dillingen. There I led the peaceful life of a rural healer and surgeon, enjoying my neighbours' respect and, in fact, constituting the exact opposite of the monstrous vampire the populace imagines.
Bruges, you say? Rebirth make you sentimental?
Perhaps a dash. But what of you? Where have you been? Ever find your Cyrilla?
Back then, yeah. But we parted again soon after. And when the time was ripe, she came back, defeated the Wild Hunt together.
Ooh. Seems I certainly missed quite a bit while I was absent.
True enough.
Yeah,
But
dude,
it's a
you missed a
conversation we'll
lot.
have another time. Need to know more about you now. All right, give you one question. What do you want to know?
One question to ask one as fascinating as you, Geralt. Cruel parsimony, I'd say. But I shall do my best to make it count. If you were to die and be reborn as I was, in your new life, would you choose to be a witcher?
That was a good question.
That's what interests you most? Whether I'd like to be a witcher again?
Many things interest me, but we've not much time left. Please answer.
Never chose to be a witcher. Fate chose for me. Had it been my choice, I'd have picked a different profession. A profession where I wouldn't have to risk my life every minute of every day. Maybe even one that had earned me some respect.
Thank you for being honest. Honesty
Yeah,
is
I
an
don't
attribute
think
of the
Geralt
truly
would like
brave.
choose to be
It's
a witcher.
privilege of the very few.
Still no sign of your winged friend. Sure it understood what you wanted?
Dead certain. Let's wait a bit longer. It'll return soon, don't doubt that for a moment. Ever vigilant, even in his sleep. Quite vampire-like, in fact. Are you absolutely certain they don't administer a few of our genes during the trial of the grasses?
I don't think so.
Far as I know, none. Now what you got for me?
You were right. No kobolds or mamoons for miles around.
Knew it.
Allow me to finish. You see, there's this spotted white. It haunts an abandoned residence in the Caraberta woods.
Impossible. My brethren hunted down every last spotted white before I was born.
Then it seems you must revise your knowledge of spotted whites. For somehow this one managed to survive your brethren's onslaught. It seems I know this home it haunts. Recall a tale about it. Locals believe the place cursed. Perhaps that's how the white survived entirely unmolested.
Makes sense.
Whites rarely appear in the woods, even less likely to find them in abandoned human homes. They inhabit remote wildernesses, old abandoned cemeteries.
What's your point?
This might not be a spotted white after all. Your little helper might have made a mistake.
I sincerely doubt it. Ravens are devilishly intelligent creatures, and they've highly developed observational skills.
What exactly did they observe?
The area around the estate, it's covered in spoons.
Spoons?
Spare me the skeptical smile. I'm but the bearer of this news. Or perhaps this spotted white is a hoarder. Or the spoons are somehow related to the curse.
Interesting. Could be.
Know anything else about this curse?
I don't recall much in particular. Really don't attach much importance to such things. It was mentioned to me as an anecdote, no more.
Come on, search your memory. Something, anything could be important.
I believe it had a relation to hunger, or, perhaps greed, rapacity. Someone was punished for something...
Textbook definition of a curse, pretty much.
Sorry, Geralt, I try not to clutter my mind with the details of every far-fetched tale I happen to hear. What are your thoughts?
A specimen of a species thought long extinct, and a curse, in one place. That a coincidence, or are they related?
I doubt.
Professional curiosity. Personally, I've nothing against you delving into this dilemma, but please remember we need the white's saliva. Nothing beyond that.
Cool.
Let's do this. Start making your decoction while I go get some saliva from that white. Uses it in its brews.
Do you imagine the white will simply sell you some?
Worst case scenario, I'll bring you its salivary glands. They ought to do as well.
For a moment there, I imagined you asking the white to spit into a vial. Quite amusing as a thought, but the salivary glands will do fine indeed.
Yeah, that would have been pretty
So,
funny.
See you later.
Yes, till later. I shall start by perusing some tomes.
Tomes? Thought you were gonna make this decoction.
We require one last ingredient. Alas, obtaining it could prove a trifle toilsome. Thus, I hope to identify a suitable alternative.
All right. Good luck.
And to you, my friend.
Okay guys, we're gonna call it here. We've been going for a while. When we come back, we are gonna go after this white. Maybe, not sure. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, hit that sub button, and hit that bell so you can get notified whenever I post videos. Bye guys.